Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Cover Wars. I'm your host, Ajax, and with me, as always, is Seth. How's it going, Seth?
Hello, I'm doing really well. I'm very excited for this.
Oh, me too. Cover Wars is a weekly podcast where we take a popular song and then we uncover the top 3 covers of that song, revealing the best cover ever. And the way we do that is we listen to a curated playlist of 20 handpicked versions of the song by various artists across multiple genres, and each of us ranks our top 5, which we will reveal in descending order from number 5 to number 1. And oh, by the way, yes, we've kept it a secret from each other, so these will be secret surprise reveals. Then, based on our rankings and lively discussion, we will agree on the quintessential top 3 and the best cover ever. Seth, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, today's song is a-ha's Take On Me. Take On Me. Is that the most 80s song ever, Seth?
If it's not, it's up there.
Because when I think 80s, that's one of those songs that immediately comes to mind. Like, it is the first song in my brain, usually. So here is a little synopsis of the band a-ha and their hit song, Take On Me. So a-ha, first of all, great band name. a-ha, I found them. They are a Norwegian synth pop band. So not a whole lot of artists from Norway. They are one of the most popular artists, if not the most popular artist from Norway. This song is a popular song, but maybe even more popular is the video for the song. Because you can't really think of the song without the video, or the video without the song. They very much go hand in hand. Take On Me was from their album Hunting High and Low. That's the band's first studio album. And they have 11 studio albums, 10 EPs, 5 live albums, 8 compilations, 50 singles, 44 music videos, and yet, Take On Me was pretty much the only song that ever hit in the US. Do you know of... Name one more a-ha song. Can you do it? I can't.
I don't think I can. If somebody give me a list, I might be able to, but
yeah, they are a one hit wonder through and through. But that's not a bad thing, because we got one of the greatest songs, in my opinion, of all time. This is such a great song. And this was back in 1984 when they first brought the song to the forefront. For some reason in my head, I always had it that it was later on in the 80s. But no, this was 84. They had a version of Take On Me, but that failed to chart in the UK. The second version of the song, though, had 2 remix versions by John Ratcliffe, and it was that second song that hit number 2 in the UK and number 1 in the US, bolstered by wide exposure of the video on MTV, featuring Steve Barron's innovative live-action pencil sketch animation sequence. Do you ever remember seeing that video?
Oh, of course. Yes.
That, to me, that's just one of the themes of MTV. Like when you think of an MTV video from the 80s, you think of a couple ones, but that one specifically comes to mind. You think of maybe the Buggles, you think of the Dire Straits video, and then this one is mine. Are there anything else that you remember from that specific video?
I didn't watch the video in preparation, so I
didn't
really
either.
Think I can recall.
I just have it in my brain. I'm like, he's like sitting at a desk, and I think it was like the lead singer of a-ha, and then he's with this girl, and whatever ensues. But yeah, I mean, it's just very memorable, the pencil sketching, because nobody ever seen anything like that before. All right, so before we move into our top 5 rankings, the first thing I want to do is go over these lyrics, the lyrics of a-ha's Take On Me. So I'm going to read you some lyrics. We'll talk about them. I might stop myself and pose a question. We'll see. It begins. We're talking away. I don't know what I'm to say. I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you. Shying away. Oh, I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two. And of course, the take on me is repeated in an echo. What's interesting right away is So this is a love interest who is shying away, but it's okay because the main protagonist, it says, I'll be coming for your love, okay? So it's all right. Needless to say, I'm odds and ends, but I'll be stumbling away, slowly learning that life is okay, which that is so philosophical. I like that line. Slowly learning that life is okay. Say after me, it's no better to be safe than sorry. What do you think is meant by that? It's no better to be safe than sorry.
I don't know.
I don't either. I think
I had a really hard time with these lyrics, actually.
Flipping the idiom on its head. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Could be.
It's no better to be safe than sorry. What do you mean? Continue. And then back to the chorus. Take on me. Take on me. Take me on. Take on me. And I like it. I like that it doesn't repeat take me on. It repeats take on me again. Take on me. Take on me. Take me on. Take on me. Okay. And then I'll be gone in a day or two. And then that falsetto. In a day or two. I can't reach that falsetto. That just cracks my voice. This is my favorite part is the bridge, because this is where a lot of these artists can take a lot more liberties. So the bridge is all the things that you say. Yeah, is it life or just to play my worries away? You're all the things I've got to remember. And then back to you're shying away. I'll be coming for you anyway. That part could be a little creepy. I think it's more like, hey, it's okay if you're shy. I'll make the move, that kind of thing in the song. So that's funny. And then it goes and repeats the chorus three times in the song. But what are your overall thoughts on the lyrics?
So I really have a hard time dissecting these lyrics. Like, I've really tried, and I couldn't come up with anything. Like, it just doesn't compute with me. It's the way it's written. It's very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the perspective is kind of bizarre too. Take on me in a sentence, it's like a non sequitur. It's very strange, and it's not like a command. Take on me. It's like, take on me, take me on. I mean, I don't know. It's just very interesting. So I think that the mystery behind what the song is even about is also what makes it so interesting and intriguing too. On top of the fact that it's just super catchy, very melodic, great synth. And so that is Take on Me in lyric form. But now is the time. Now's the proper time. We shall get right to it with our top 5. So the way this works, I gave Seth a playlist of 20 songs. I also listened to those 20 songs. These artists are all over the map. They're very, very, literally, and they're very, very different in genre, very different in style. Now, some people will say, when I tell them about this podcast, well, you've heard certain cover versions of certain songs before and already have an artist or two in mind. Absolutely, 100%. I'm not going to lie about that. And yes, there are ones that made it to my top 5 that I already knew the song. I like the song from before and I've heard it. But what's interesting is when you re-listen to them, especially with 19 other versions of a song, you really get to distinguish which ones you like the most. Does it still hold up? Is it as good as you think it was? Because I'm sure you've heard a few versions of these songs before as covers, right?
For sure, yeah.
Okay. So that's what I think was interesting, and I was shocked, to say the least, about 2 of the entries in my top 5 that are both ones I've never heard before until this playlist. And when I heard them, I'm like, wow, these are great versions, and especially one of them in particular I will listen to all the time and have on a regular playlist. So, without any further ado, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is the Rockers covers.
Okay, nice. So the Rocker Covers, this is actually a band who calls themselves the Rocker Covers. That is the name of this band, which is very, very interesting. I don't necessarily like the name of that band, but what's really cool, they have a rockabilly sound. So they do rockabilly versions of songs, and they remind me a lot of the Stray Cats, the Brian Setzer era Stray Cats. And this comes from an album called New Old Stock, and it was released in 2013. So what did you like so much about this version?
So I agree with you. The biggest thing I took away from it was the Brian Setzer style and interpretation. It was groovy. It was fun. It had a great old rock feeling. I didn't feel like it was like as tight as the other ones. It was more loose and very easy to listen to, if that makes sense.
Yep. I just love that stand-up bass, the doom, 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 and
Yes.
there was a lot more of an intro to this one, if I recall, than the other
Yeah.
songs. Because most of the songs just get right into the lyrics and you're like, okay, well, you know how the song goes. This one really laid into that heavy bass and got you that stand-up bass, that rockabilly sound before it really started into the lyrics. So I did appreciate that a lot from them. So, all right, we're off and running. The rocker covers. And what's great about this is I have no idea what Seth's going to give me in his top 5. He has no idea what I'm going to say in my top 5. And it's just interesting because, we could be really fighting neck and neck here for our top 3. I'm going to, give him my opinions on him. He's going to give me his. And from there, we just have to, in a polite manner or a warring manner, deliver our top 3 when it comes to it. So number 5, I will tell you that is not in my not in my top 5 whatsoever. So here's my.
Really?
It is not. No, Here's my number 5. All right, my number 5 is one that I have heard in the past. I did not think after hearing these 20 that I would even have it in my top 5, but going back and listening to it, I'm like, no, it's number 5. I can't not put them in there, and that is MXPX. So MXPX, this version, and of course MXPX, a pop punk band, started out as a Christian punk band, and now they're just kind of more like straight-laced, straight-up punk. They had this EP called On the Cover. It was released in 1995. This song is 30 years old, this version, and I cannot believe that. But when you hear it, you're like, okay, this is a very early, raw-sounding cover of the song, and they were just kids. This was released on November 28th, 1995, between albums 2 and 3. They now have 14 studio albums and 7 EPs. So you can imagine this was a long time ago. But the thing that sells me on this song still, even though they're so young here and it's so raw and so stripped down and basic, but I love what they did with the bridge and the breakdown at the end of the song. So that last bit of lyric that you hear, I think it's like the second or the third take on me, and then it just ends, but it ends beautifully. So they really come around, and you can get the hint of what is to come in the future of MXPX. And when they hit the album Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo, they just took off from there, and the band has never looked back. So they're so good. Highly recommend it. Number 5. What do you think of that song? Do you remember hearing that, Seth?
So I'm trying to recall exactly which version that is. I think I remember. I wasn't familiar with the band. I apologize.
Okay. No,
but,
it's quite all right.
That I think if it is what I think it was a decent cover. So I understand why it made your top 5.
All right, very good. So number 5 and number 5, 2 different. We will now reveal Seth's number 4. What is your number 4?
I really dug Ashley Johnson's version.
Okay, all right. So this is Ashley Johnson. She performed this with Chris, and I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but Rondinella. We'll go with Rondinella. I don't know why I said a Z in there. So Ashley Johnson and Chris Rondinella. So I'm not 100% familiar with these. What I can tell you is that Ashley Johnson has 400K monthly listeners on Spotify. And so does Chris Rondinella have 300,000. So these are very popular singer-songwriters, and this is from their album Covers and Rarities that they performed together. Just a nice, very nice tonal and executed song. What did you like the most about their version?
So I like the slow, like country folksy vibe. The sound was very pleasant to the ears. It actually, you'll probably like this. This actually reminded me of Abra Moore, who I grew up on with her breathy voice that melts your heart a little bit.
What? So Abra Moore. So in the 90s, Abermore had a song that charted that did really well. What do you remember the name of that song?
Four Leaf Clover, I believe, was their most popular song.
Yes. And I know Four Leaf Clover because Old 97s have a song called Four Leaf Clover, and Old 97s.
There you go. There you go.
Old 97s, one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band of all time. But yeah, so that's great. I like that comparison, and I really, really enjoyed that version of the song too. So I will now give you my number 4. And my number 4 is by an artist I had never heard of until I listened to this 20-song playlist. And I still don't really know how to pronounce this artist's name. But this artist's name is Graziella Shazad, I think. So Graziella Shazad, I found out, is a German singer-songwriter based out of Berlin. She's got 3 albums on Spotify, only 11.5 thousand monthly listeners as of right now, but just a sweet, tender quality to her voice. And I dug it. I really, really liked it. Now, going into the catalog of those other albums, though, I probably wouldn't even listen to her like traditional music, but this version of this song is fabulous. So I felt like I had to put it in my top 5, and I just feel like it wouldn't be my top 5 without it. So that's my number 4. So Seth, what is your number 3?
Can I rewind for a second?
Absolutely, go ahead. No, let's go back to Graziella
version. Yeah, I dug that version a lot. And what I think is interesting, a spoiler alert, it's not on my list.
Okay, good.
But it was teeter-tottering. Like, I thought about it like really hard because that was a really unique version.
Well, so that's why I think I didn't ask you your opinion on it, because I was afraid. I'm like, oh, and back in my mind, I'm like, what if he has it? Oh, let's move on. But I'm sorry. No, thank you for butting in, because I should have asked you your opinion. Hey, we're
You're
new.
fine.
This is episode 2. We're gonna figure it out, I promise. But I'm very, very interested now in your number 3.
So this will shock you.
Uh-oh.
I think.
Uh-oh.
At 3, I have Weezer.
Oh, interesting. I don't know why you assume it's going to shock me or anything, but no. Please do indulge me on Weezer. What were your thoughts on this version?
So I liked the fact that it made it, the sound was like an original Weezer song. It sounded like it was something from the early stuff. I really love their take on Me. It had a nostalgia that the others didn't quite have, in my opinion. So that's why I vibed with it.
I love it. Yeah. So we'll talk about Weezer. So this is from their, I guess you would call it their 12th album. What's interesting about this is that it's an album of covers. So I consider it a non-proper. Whenever an artist who's not a cover artist does a covers album, it should not be considered an actual studio album. However, they recorded it in a studio, and it's referred to as the Teal album because they do the same poses as they did for the original Blue album, then the Red album, then the White album, now the Teal album. And then this was actually recorded as a companion piece to their then forthcoming The Black album, which was released on March 1st, 2019. This album, the Teal album, was released on January 24th, 2019. So they have a total now of 15 studio albums if you count the Teal album. Now, this band, I absolutely love Weezer. They're probably my number 2 band. They're one of the most polarizing bands, though, because they have so many haters. But the funny part is most of those haters are also fans of Weezer who, just don't think it's cool enough to admit that they're fans of Weezer. And I find that it's so funny, the discussions I can get into with fans of Weezer who go, oh, after the Blue album, they didn't make any great songs. They had like 1 or 2 really good songs here and there, but I couldn't get into it. Meanwhile, I guarantee you they've heard every single one of their songs since then. And then there's people that love Pinkerton and don't like the Blue album as much, but like a lot of their more indie sounding songs, but hate the fact that they release songs like Beverly Hills and songs that embrace radio play and, media and corporate and, all that kind of stuff. And I understand all of that. I get it. But I just love Rivers Cuomo. I love the band. I love Weezer so much. And the fact that they are still around, still making music is, there's something to be said about that. And I will say too, in this version, the thing I like the most about it is the drums before the bridge. So Pat is really just like banging on the kit before the bridge. The keyboards go out, and then the bridge breakdown where it gets quiet and you hear Rivers' tone, that tone in his voice. What's funny too about this album is it got a lot of critical backlash for them not switching up the arrangements too much and it sounding too much like the originals. And if you really go back and listen to every cover they do on here, that's not entirely true. They add their Weezer flair to it. And oh, by the way, the only reason this album exists is because there was a girl, a super fan of Weezer, who tweeted out one day that they should do a cover of Africa. And so what happened with that was it went viral, got sent to the band. They went ahead and did a cover, but they did a cover of another Toto song, which I think it was Rosalia at the time. Whatever the other Toto song. They have like 3 hits. They're a 3-hit wonder. But then they released Africa. And then this album was actually released as a surprise. So no one knew that it was going to be released. They released it and everybody just criticized it. I'm like, they didn't even know they were going to do it. They were in the studio recording the Black Album. They were like, hey, we can throw together a covers album for our fans. And that's what they did. They didn't intend for it to sound like the White Album, not the Weezer White Album, but the Beatles White Album is what I was referring to. Anyway, so I just think that was funny. So Seth, you thought it was weird that you had that at number 3. No, in fact, it's so not weird that is also my number 3. Weezer's version of Take On Me, that was my number 3 as well. So very nice. I love this song for all the reasons I just mentioned. But yeah, I mean, it's so good. And that nostalgia, it sounds like the original to the extent that it brings you back and makes you think of think of the original. I think too many times artists take liberties with a song, strip it down, and it sounds nothing like the original. And that's almost pushing it a little too much for me. I like certain genres where the genre is nowhere near it, but you still have to have some semblance of the original for it to be a true cover, in my opinion. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel like, so I've always said this is my personal opinion. A great song is a great song, and it can be done in any genre. And this is a good example because the playlist that you sent me, I mean, there's so many different takes on this song, and it's very, very different. What I liked about it is the similarity. It was very similar, but it had a Weezer feel. And so right. I think it worked, in my opinion.
I agree. And I am Weezer biased. I'm speaking through the lens of a super fan, but at the same time, I mean, this is number 3 all day long for me. Not number 2 and not number 1, though. So Seth, I got to ask, what is your number 2?
Okay, at number 2, I've got Real Big Fish.
All right, Real Big Fish. So why do you like this version so much?
So I love the changes they made, but transitioned it to make it their own. Bringing back so many memories that I just can't get enough of their rendition of the song. It's probably the most fun version, if you ask me, of all the different takes of this song.
Right, and it's ska. I mean, it's ska through and through. Real Big Fish have that horn section that immediately just hits you right after the first little bit of the song. The horns come in and you're hooked immediately. So this song, this version, the one that I sent you, there's 3 different versions recorded of the song. The one that I sent you was from their compilation, The Best of Us for the Rest of Us, and this was released on October 12th, 2010. They also had a version called, off of their album, Greatest Hit and More, from, that's hit, singular, and more, making fun of themselves. Gotta love it. Great sense of humor. So this was released on November 21st, 2006. That is a different version than the one I gave you. The one I gave you was re-recorded in 2010 specifically for that compilation. It has more of a rockier edge to it. And then the original version, the one that... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It wouldn't have mattered. I just grew up on the song. I love their version of it. Yeah.
I'm glad that it wouldn't have mattered because I wish I would have sent you the original version, which came from the Basketball soundtrack. That's right. The film Basketball. This soundtrack was released in November on November 30th, 1997. This is the preferred recording, in my opinion, the original version. And this is their second most popular song to their song Sellout. So the reason they called it Greatest Hit and More was because everybody knows them for their song Sellout, which is funny because they sold out, but then they never really had another hit except Take On Me, their cover of Take On Me. Yeah, the horns, it's happy, it's energetic, and those horns juxtaposed up against the original version of the keyboard, so the horns replacing the keyboards, I just think it's so catchy, it's so good, it's almost like it was just meant to be, you know?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that was your number 2. My number 2 is by a band I've heard of this group before, but I never really got into their music. I never really listened to them. I will be listening to more and more and more of them now because I love this song so much that it's my number 2 version of the song Take On Me now that I've heard it, and that is a band called the DeLorean Sisters. The DeLorean Sisters is a Brooklyn-based band, and they just have this catchy folk-style uke and banjo. Now, I didn't really find too much more information on them beyond that, but first of all, I love the band name. So neither one of them are DeLorean. I assume they got that from Back to the Future. But the DeLorean Sisters is a band where there's 5 of them, but they call themselves the DeLorean Sisters. The 2 females are the ones that lead the band and actually sing and perform. Okay. So this version just got me hooked. The style, the folky style with the banjo, I just thought it's such a catchy version of the song. And I'm like, do I like this more than Weezer? Yes, I like it better than the Weezer version, more than Crazy Ella Shazad and more than MXPX. So I had to put it at number 2. So what did you think of that version?
So actually, it's really funny that you picked it because when I heard the 20 that you picked out, Weezer and that version were the 2 ones I was like, he probably will put these on his list. Like, I've listened to your playlist for a while now, and I'm kind of getting a vibe from you and feeling for what you like. And that I was like, oh, I bet he picks this one. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really, really cool.
Great. So that leads us to our number 1. Seth, what is your number 1 version of Take On Me?
If I shocked you at all with any of the other numbers, this one probably will shock you the most. So, number 1, I got Aqualung.
Ooh, okay. Aqualung. And why did you, and it's a little shocking to me, but why is Aqualung your number 1 version of the song?
So, for me, the slow pace of the song was so relaxing, very enjoyable, and also doesn't hurt that I'm a huge Aqualung fan. I felt like they were wrapping me up in a blanket with some hot cocoa in the winter or late fall. I just loved it.
Oh, I love the way you put that. That's great. Yeah, it's one of those things that I really, really, as I got older, learned to respect from artists is the restraint that they practice. Because you know these singer-songwriters, they've been around, they're musicians, they're talented, they're very professional, they've had years and years and years of experience. they, if they wanted to, could really just belt out a vocal. They could lay on notes. They could lay on notes too long. They can take liberties. They can do things that, maybe other artists wouldn't be able to do. They could really shove it in your face, but they don't. And this is a perfect example of an artist that it's so stripped down. It's so soft spoken. It's just very peaceful. And I love that about it. This Aqualung is Matthew Nicholas Hales. And this version is actually called the Grey's Anatomy version. I assume because it appeared on Grey's Anatomy. I don't know why else it would be called that. But a lot of Aqualung songs end up in dramas, TV dramas. For that reason, they just match, He's an English singer, songwriter, musician, and producer. He's best known for his song Strange and Beautiful, which was featured in a VW Beetle commercial. Do you remember that commercial?
Think I might slightly. I'm a big fan of his early work, so I
so
think
tell
of, like, some
me,
of the
tell
other
me
songs
more.
off that
Tell me
album.
more about Aqualung that we should check out. Since you're the big fan, I didn't realize this.
I Put a Spell on You. I think that's the name of the song. And then he also did Brighter Than Sunshine. You know that song?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that one?
Yeah. So these are both covers too. Yeah. Or I Put a Spell on You cover anyway.
It's a different. No, actually, it's a different version. It's not the same song.
So it's not Minnie Pearl like the original. It's not.
No,
it's not Maya Rudolph's mom.
It might not be titled that. It might not be titled that. That's the chorus.
Okay.
But anyway,
right. I gotcha. I think
I'm
remember
sorry.
you.
I should look that up.
I think I remember you sending me that a long time ago, and I was listening to it. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. But yeah, I like it a lot. It's just not something that I would put in my top 5, but I love it. I mean, I like it. I love it. I want more of it. I don't know, maybe. For me, it's one of those where I'm like, it's definitely a mood song. Like there's certain artists where I can listen to all the time. Like I don't have to think about it, especially pop punk, folk music, stuff like that. I can just put it on, not have to worry about it. Singer-songwriter stuff, depending on how upbeat it is, I really have to be in a certain mood for it. And that is where I'm at with Aqualung. I do like it a lot though. So here is my... Go ahead. Absolutely.
If I can say one more thing. Yes. One of the reasons why I like this cover is because it reminded me so much of Damien Rice.
Oh.
And I am a humongous Damien Rice fan. So that really, it put me in the mind of Damien Rice. And I was like, if Damien Rice had a version of it, it sounded exactly the same. So that's really why I dug it so much.
I also really like Damien Rice's It's a good album. It's a good album.
It's a great album. It's a great album. Yeah.
The only thing that bothered me, Damien, Damien, that E bothered me. I don't know why. Maybe I just wanted it to be Damian. I don't know. That's just getting really picky. So no, that's great. I love the singer-songwriter vibes. We had a lot of them on this playlist. But before I give you my number one, do you have any honorable mentions you'd like to?
So I'll try to make this fast because I really enjoyed all of the songs that you sent me.
Sure.
But I really liked the Angel Snow. It was very comforting. Pentatonics, I love what they were able to do with their vocals. I loved the Additions version as well.
Yes.
The only one that I really didn't like was the hard rock version by Cypher.
Yeah, I did not like that either.
But I respect their musicianship because I know like the drumming and guitar playing and bass playing is really hard to do at that speed. One last mention would be the bluegrass rendition. I can't remember the name of the artist, but it gave me like the Oh Brother Where Art Thou vibes.
Yeah, they're called Hit and Run Bluegrass. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, very good. I also, Pentatonics was the one that almost cracked my top 5. I just, at the end of the day, there's something about them. Now, they're one of the most famous a cappella groups of all time, if not the most famous. They formed in 2011 and they won the third season of NBC's The Sing Off, which I don't even remember that. But that gave
it was a
them
good show. It was a good show.
I don't remember it. That's what gave them their $200,000 Sony recording contract, and then the rest is history. But there's some like they're super talented. They're they craft the covers very, very well. I could never do what they do. The making it their voice and instrument and stuff. There's just something by the time I'm done with the song. The reason they're not in my top 5, there's just a hint of annoying to me. Like, I don't know. They remind me of like AJR. Like, I can't put it into words why I don't love AJR. Other than the word annoying just keeps coming to mind. Like, I don't hate them. It's just, I can only listen to so much of them before my head falls off of my neck, you know?
Yeah.
But The Addition was also my number 7. That almost made my top 5 as well. And I also had Angel Snow. So our honorable mentions are right in line. I do want to mention 2 more real quick from this playlist. And both have Scrubs connections. So The Blanks are also an a cappella group, and they were known for being recurring guests on Scrubs. They showed up on Scrubs a lot, the band The Blanks. And not only were they on Scrubs, but Laszlo Bane, who also did this cover of Take On Me, they performed the Scrubs theme song, Superman. That's Laszlo Bane. So I'm no Superman. You know, everybody knows the Scrubs song. And Scrubs is supposed to be making a comeback. And all of the cast signed on in 2026. We're supposed to see a Scrubs reboot. So that'll be interesting. And maybe Laszlo Bane and the Blanks will show up. But are you ready for my number 1?
I am ready for your number 1.
Okay. Here's my number 1. I will give you a hint too. You have it in your top 5. It was actually your number 2, and that is Real Big Fish. So this is the version. When I think of Take On Me, this is the artist who I think of right away. That original version from Basketball, it's just so good. The horns replacing the keyboards. It's if every cover could have that instrument that takes over, or that sound that takes over another sound and just fills it in with something equally pleasing or even better to an extent. So there's times where I'm like, I would prefer the Real Big Fish version of the song to a-ha's original version. And when you can say that about a song that you love, you know that that's a great cover version. So that is my number 1. So Seth, now's the hard part. Now we have to whittle our list down to a top 3. Now, I will say we have 2, but just 2 repeating artists on our top 5 list, and that is Weezer. You had it at number 3. I had it at number 3. And Real Big Fish, you had it at number 2. I had it at number 1. So the number 2 and the number 1 seems like we're going to be okay with those. So now it's the number 3 version that we're really going to be tough on, because your number 5 was the Rocker covers. Your number 4 was the Ashley Johnson, and again, forgive me the name, Chris Rodinella version. And your number 1 was Aqualung. My number 5 was MXPX. My number 4 was Graziella Shazad. And my number 2 was the DeLorean Sisters. So before we go and try to figure out that number 3 spot, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so when I hear back yours, I feel like the German band,
the Graziella Shazad,
maybe should be in the discussion, because that was actually really teeter-tottering on my list.
Okay.
I didn't mention it in the honorable mentions. I figured that you might put that on yours, so I was like, let him have his own, and I'll do my own honorable mentions. So, otherwise it would have been on my top 5.
Here's a thought I have. I mean, Aqualung. Let me tell you about them, because I didn't have it even in my honorable mentions. But listening back tonight before we got on here, even though I really have to be in the mood for it, I really respect the restraint. I really, really do respect it. So now, if I'm going to pick one from your list, it's Aqualung. You picked Graziella from mine. Graziella's number 4 on mine, and Aqualung is number 1 on yours. So I'm going to go with Aqualung at number 3 if you're okay with that.
I am.
Okay, I figured you would be. So here's our top 3, folks. Our top 3. Number 3, these are the top 3 covers of a-ha's Take On Me. At number 3 is going to be Aqualung. At number 2, that's going to be Weezer's version. And our number 1 version of a-ha's Take On Me is going to be Real Big Fish at number 1. So we will have a new playlist up on Spotify. What I'm going to do is every time we have a Cover Wars podcast, we are going to take our top 3, we're going to put them on a playlist, and then we're going to add the next top 3 for our next song, and so on and so forth. So we'll have a never-ending covers playlist of the top 3 covers of every artist that we do on Cover Wars. So before we get into who is going to be on, or what we're going to talk about next week, what we're going to do every time we have a guest on the show, which, of course, with me as always is Seth. Seth, what is your choice for the song we will cover the week after? So not next week, but the week after on Cover Wars podcast.
So I did some research, and I went with my gut on this one. I really was digging, at the time, Nothing Compares to You.
Okay.
So that would be a very good cover, in my opinion.
All right, Nothing Compares to You. Classic Prince song. Prince wrote and recorded that song first. Obviously, one specific cover will immediately come to your mind, and that's what I love about doing the show is because, well, yeah, is that still going to be the best one? Does that version still hold up? And we're going to pick 19 more, and we're going to figure out what those top 3 are based on our top 5. So, Seth, how did you enjoy today's show? Do you think we did a good job with our top 3?
I really loved it. The variety was just amazing. I had no idea when you talked about a-ha doing Take On Me for the covers. I was like, is that going to have any variety? And I was shocked. There was just so much variety.
You know, what's funny is a couple years back, I was at a concert with Better Than Ezra. I wasn't with them. They were on stage, and I was watching them perform on stage, just to be clear. But they have an excellent version of Take On Me, but they never laid it down. They never had a studio recording of it. I always wanted them to put out a covers version. If they had a studio version sound like their live version, it would immediately hit my top 5. But no, I've always liked different versions of this song, but Real Big Fish own that song now. That is number 1. And yeah, I had a great time with you, Seth. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been Cover Wars. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can go to Cover Wars on TikTok, coverwarspodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page called Cover Wars Podcast. You can reach it at Cover Wars Podcast. Seth, thank you once again. How can anyone get in touch with you if they'd like to know more about you and the projects that you have going on?
So I have a couple projects. I'll be quick with this one. So you can find my podcast on Movies at Grandma's House with Isaac and I, where we review kids' movies from the past on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, you can check out our newsletter, and we're on Patreon. And I loved having you on our podcast as well on Movies at Grandma's House. That was amazing. Loads of fun. For something different, if you like car movies, you can check out another podcast I did with my cousin Dave called The Buster's Garage, a Fast and Furious podcast where we discussed, guess what? Car movies.
All right. Yeah, they're both excellent podcasts. I love being on the show with you guys as well. So if you have not subscribed or listened to Movies at Grandma's House, please do so and check out Buster's Garage. Thank you so much, Seth. And signing off now, this has been Cover Wars. We'll see you next week for Dancing in the Dark. We will cover Dancing in the Dark, the Bruce Springsteen classic. Bye, everybody.